Hey up guys, S-Men back at it again with a brand new review of Horizon. Now, if you like this video, make sure you guys subscribe for more content like this in the future. Now let's get right into this review because this episode was a certified banger. Picking up right off of last week, Friede goes to investigate the suspicious tower as seen from the Palafin photo that Roy showed. He goes to investigate, sees some of Spinel's Pokemon that he's fought in the past, and even sees Spinel walking to the tower. That is when Friede and the Volt Tacklers have a meeting to discuss how they are going to stop it. In this meeting, Liko brings up that Coral mentioned they're going to fight Rayquaza. And for the means, they don't know how yet. That's when they figure out that they can potentially be summoning Rayquaza with a machine build. That is when Dot suggests that she can create a device that basically terminates any machine. After this, Friede decides it's best for him to go visit the tower, and that's when Liko and Roy both obviously want to go, and Friede accepts. But he also asks Lil to come along with them so they can go unseen on a boat. They have to be quiet and explore the island some when they undercover the tower. Friede goes in and is revealed as actually trapped by Spinel, knowing that the Volt Tacklers were on there after Coral outed their plan. Basically, then talks to Friede, and it's here when he actually gives a monologue about his plan that he created a device that would use Terrapagos' energy, or something similar to Terrapagos' energy, to summon Rayquaza to the lighthouse they are stationed at. That is when Friede tells Liko, Roy, and Ludlow to go investigate where they could potentially be, and they run off to search the rest of the island. Then shown they're at a lighthouse, not even on the island, and that's when Friede and Spinel actually happen to fight. When we see the device, it's actually something interesting because all the explorers are here except for Amithio, and Coral even calls us out saying that they didn't invite Amithio after his training, and that's when Agate reveals that Spinel didn't invite Amithio because he doesn't like them, which I think that's kind of funny, that Spinel just hates Amithio that much that he invited him. I also think it's interesting seeing the dynamics between the explorers, because Friede even calls out, it's kind of weird that Spinel's working as a team after last time they fought, seeing Spinel basically solo it by himself and work behind the scenes. And that's when Spinel even reveals he hasn't changed up the strategy. His whole thing right now is so that he can fight and capture Rayquaza. Not even doing it himself, but instead using the other three explorers to do it, so he can just come in and catch Rayquaza in the end. I think that definitely works and fits with Spinel's character from what we've seen so far, and I love that detail. That Friede even called him out for, you're not one to work with people. I also like that they mentioned that this is the first time Friede even seen Spinel in person. We know Liko, Roy, and Dot saw Spinel. I just forgot that Friede actually never face-to-face met him and only spoke to him through the communicator. But yeah, we see a battle between Umbreon and Pikachu, where this battle actually does look pretty good, and we actually see Pikachu struggle a bit. But that's when they actually come up with a strategy to have Pikachu just keep getting knocked back into the wall and destroy it. And the battle ends off with Pikachu using a Volt Tackler, and when Spinel goes to reflect it, Pikachu uses it to jump off and destroy the wall, so Friede to run off and escape. I gotta say, this battle had no clear winner, but like, compared to all Liko and Roy's battles, this wasn't annoying, because the whole point of this battle was Spinel just trying to keep Friede back to not interfere with the plan, because out of all the Volt Tacklers, Friede is obviously the most dangerous, so his plan just to basically create this prison where Friede is stuck in here and can't use Charizard or Terastallization was genius. But Friede, of course, outsmarted him with the whole destroying the area around him strategy. I just love that we're seeing environment come to play in battles like this. Ugh, everything about this battle was just so good. But yeah, the explorers eventually do summon Rayquaza, and we get an interesting scene of Iono recording a video and actually seeing this. I don't know what the implications of this are. It could potentially mean that the explorers get outed and Iono also records the Rising Volt Tackler's action, because especially from what we see at the end of the episode, this definitely is going to be interesting to see where specifically Iono goes. Especially knowing that she's going to be in the upcoming Terrestrial debut arc as an important character. Just interesting to see where this goes. But yeah, battle between Rayquaza begins with Coral and Onyx basically using Salt Cure and Blizzard to just keep using it against Rayquaza, weakening it, and just using super effective moves against it. We also see Agate use Psychic on Rayquaza. And we actually see something very interesting with the device. Apparently, every time it shoots a thing at it, Rayquaza, it calms it down. So we see multiple times that Rayquaza goes to fight back, but the machine just like mellows it out a bit. That's definitely just interesting to see how Terrapagos' energy isn't even related to Rayquaza, because we've seen like for a while now that Rayquaza could potentially be terrestrialized, so maybe Terrapagos' energy also like puts it to rest and just relaxes it. I don't really know what the whole purpose of that little detail was. Oh, and I also like the detail that Terrapagos sensed the energy using to summon Rayquaza, because it was the one who actually told Liko and the crew where to go. And there's also a cool little scene where Lumlow uses his Quagsire to help boost their boat. I love that scene. But yeah, after this, basically, Liko Roy get to the tower, and they have to fight Onyx, Agate, Coral. And we get a cool scene where Agate is about to catch Rayquaza with the Ultra Ball. And we finally see the boy Wattrel come out and save the day and take a bullet for for Rayquaza. And I just think that's so funny to see. This is its one moment of shine. We've seen it do absolutely nothing for the longest time. And it gets sent out to basically be a human shield, and then gets right back to its buggy ball. That is hilarious. But yeah, we also see Liko and Roy just fighting Onyx and his Garganacl, and it's just the same as yesterday's or last week's episode, just them responding to it. And then this is where we get a big moment of Dot jumping off the Volt Tackler ship in her Needlefang outfit, and it bounces off the lighthouse, and I think that's so funny. That's how she gets down from the thing, and she fights off Agate and turns off the machine. That scene was sick, and I just think that's a really good scene of Dot's character. When Nico called the Volt Tackler ship asking for reinforcements at the lighthouse, just for Dot to say, I want to go in myself, instead of Murdoch, when he was offering to fight Agate and take basically the hit for the crew. I love that just Dot did it. It really shows how her character has grown over, especially recently. Dot has been growing a lot, and I just love it. Like, Dot's growth has been one of my favorite things from Horizon. At first, I didn't really like Dot. It really took to when she caught Quaxley for me to even enjoy her character in the slightest. And then from there, even though she had Quaxley, she would still lock herself in a room, not do anything. But recently, Dot has actually become one of my favorite characters among the crew, and I just love that. But yeah, this episode then takes a drastic turn when Coral goes to basically take out Rayquaza in one last hit. After the machine gets turned off and it starts fighting back, Coral rushes in to use Explosion, which knocks Rayquaza into the Rising Volt Tackler ship, and the ship goes down. Okay, now that's one good way to end an episode. So basically, what does this ship going down mean? This definitely explains why we're getting the Paldea School arc. While the ship's being repaired, what else could they really do? Like, you can have a time skip where the ship gets repaired, but realistically, there's nothing more. Without going to the Paldea School, the most they could have really done is filler, which we wouldn't have do that. So the fact that the Rising Volt Tackler ship gets destroyed potentially means all the adults are working to repair it, or even off to like go do something, and they even potentially could be sending the kids off saying, hey, get stronger, learn terrestrialization, stay with like Liko's family at the school, because Liko's mom, I'm pretty sure, does work for that school, So, yeah. I also think she could be potentially the one who runs the terrestrialization test. So yeah. The rising vocabulary ship goes down just means a lot. And overall, this episode, I really like this episode. It was just a lot of non-stop action, and like I really said, that was enjoyable. We get a lot of nice character moments that just basically adds a lot to them as a character. Like we get like really good Friede scenes for we haven't gotten Friede scenes like this in a while. We got really good dot scenes and just overall the crew working together really well, and all the explorer scenes like Spinel. We haven't seen Spinel in so long. I just love all the scenes yet again. Coral scenes were nice as always, and just Opal and Agate are there. I don't even remember their names half the time. I have to Google search what her name was, and apparently the dub revealed what her name was. So I almost said that one instead of Agate, because I don't like the American name for all the explorers aside from Coral. For the ones that they did change, like they changed Onyx, Agate, and I don't know why they turned Anya into Kanya into Anya, and Zur into Zerk. I think that is the stupidest change ever, because you literally just took a letter out of Kanya's name and threw it at the end of Zerk. I honestly thought it was a typo at first, saying like when they announced it, saying, and they just forgot that they put up the space in the wrong spot. But no, this is their official name, and that is the stupidest thing ever. But yeah, overall, I'll give this episode a 9 out of 10. This episode was really good, and I know I don't really sound too excited over it. I'm gonna be honest, I did just wake up, so yeah. Hope you guys like this video and subscribe for more content like this in the future, because Horizons is actually just been cooking recently. Like, ooh, I'm eating up what they're putting down. I can't wait to see what's next. Alright, S-Man, signing off.